such an asshole.
From Anonymous. I read your basic terms and conditions. I feel like I don't give a damn. You're going to read my story and charge me if you want, asshole. Just kidding. Enjoy the quick backyard trash story, friend. I was the typical 10,000er, a millennial, poor Gen Z, born early 2001, being a kid living in a 20-year-old mobile home with my dad being a drug addict at the time in his late 80s. Yes, but with his late 80s Camaro and my mom at 19. Yes, but you understand your dad was hot. And so your mom just had to have had you. She had to have sex with him. They ended up having kids early, like dumbass millennials they are, having 3 kids, including me in unison. My mom one day got drug raped and then got the shit beat out by my dad. Guys, fucking. I didn't charge him extra because he's come from a truly disadvantaged background. I tried to beat the hell out of him with a tire iron, but got knocked out cold. Mom ended up divorcing in 2007. Well, that was first 6 years of your life didn't count, really. You see, it doesn't matter. It takes a village. Then remarried in 2015 to my new stepdad, then had a kid. Yay, all sarcasm. Through elementary, I've been made fun of how poor I was and how I dressed baggy. Even the teachers were out to get me, trying to get me tested for autism, even though it was just me without a dad. I'm wondering what percent of the fake mental illnesses are out there are fake because they just don't have a dad. But we don't want to actually introduce fathers into society, because then what would pharmaceutical sales be like? And then you'd have to raise kids and women would have to choose men wisely. Whoa, don't you know bad boy cock is the most tastiest cock of it all? Give a tasty bad boy cock. Just find a suitable man to raise my children. Are you crazy? Do you know how scrumptious that cock is? Ooh, Cappy's on fire today. Bad boy cock. Somebody do a commercial. But it doesn't taste as good as reliable man cock. Bad boy cock, now with extra STDs and meth. Even though it was just me without a dad or a father figure, but I love Obama helping me by giving me that extra lunch muffin, though. Well, I could see where it'd be helpful. I remember being very fond of Reagan as a kid because he got us out of the fucking 70s. It was way before your time, though. By this time, my mom had enough of the teachers and made me do homeschool. Then she put me through Wabellos, Boy Scouts, and the Order of the Arrows Club until high school. That's not bad. I guess those sound like good clubs to join. My granny followed suit and made me join the American Legion, the Sons of Sons, helping all kinds of vets. Together, they helped me find odd jobs for me to save for a Jeep for $700 until I was 16. Throughout my childhood, I never had cable TV. I've never had cable. Never had it. We couldn't afford it back in the day. Although back in my day, only really rich people had it. But just never had. To this, I'll never get it. I'll never get it. Just VHS tapes at this time, or no internet until the beginning of my high school year in 2016. You know what, dude? I know it sucked in this environment, but maybe that was a good thing. You didn't have smartphones or the internet until 2016. Just pointing that out. Ended up getting bullied just like in elementary, but it was about my 2014 Verizon flip phone. Found out even kids had phones since they were in middle school, which surprised me when there were so many pedophiles around, but I didn't let that faze me. Eventually, I made friends throughout high school with them helping me with my internet crisis, they say. Then I ended up getting horse pilled up my ass. What's a horse pill? During high school and on the internet with all these leftist, feminist, different genders, which completely blew my mind for a couple months. What completely blew my mind is that they're not the same as my mother and grandma, which is very, let's just say, traditional. But your mom wasn't traditional. Your grandma sounded traditional, but your mom sounded just like a cheating dumbass whore. Became a lieutenant, or lieutenant, as those in the British colonies would say. Oh, no, lieutenant. Nice, in the Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps. At this time in my life, I was high on patriotism and love for country. That's not what your country could do for you, but what you could do for your country. JFK type shit. Ended up getting asked out by a lot of prep girls, smashing girls with my so-called boldness, public speaking, they say. Never asked a girl out, which is a problem now. In reality, it is just more like me not giving a damn because everyone is just on their phones and doesn't care. Boy, I'll tell you something, man. I'm sure it wasn't worth it, but you not having the internet like anchored you. Like your entire life was not on the phones and the things and the stuff. And you could see that now. Like, why would you be interested in a girl whose entire social life, her entire charisma, charm, loving, caring, all the assets and traits a man would genuinely find interesting within a girl it's all formed in a phone, a smartphone, and social media. I'm gonna guess you're very well aware of what's important in life, and it isn't what Yahoo News says or Boldy or Huffington Post or whatever, Vogue or whatever the girls read nowadays. Just graduated from 2020 and all my friends are gone, even though I didn't fit into their groups anyway. Understand that I'm a different breed and I don't know how to cope with this new world that I'm living in. Looking back now and all my history, I believe I should just join the Marines and get that. And I asked you, I said, well, what happened to the Air Force thing? He said that it allows you to also join the Marines. So, okay, you want to join the military and get that government health care to fix my teeth, housing, etc. Then do the same as a firefighter, but retire as one. Never getting married, though. Seen too many divorces and unhappy couples. Dude, you haven't seen anything good, period. It's like Die Hard. Man, is alone up there hurting, and he hasn't seen anything good. Yeah, so I could see that since your entire existence has been miserable and the culture environment and your generation you live in, yeah, there may not seem to be a lot of things out there that's worth living towards. But I'm going to tell you this, man, unless you start doing hard drugs or knock up a girl, it's going to be a lot easier than the first 18 years of your life. Or you commit a crime or something like that. So the general rule, which I don't know if you're black, but I got 2 books where I talk about this concept. In this book, Bachelor Pad Economics, do I have a copy of Black Man's Guide to Poverty? It really has nothing to do with black, but yeah, here we go. At the bottom, where all books about black people should be. I kid. This one, I talk about it, but also in Bachelor Pad Economics, because it applies to all guys. Just don't fuck up. Dude, you made it out of that hellhole, and you will never go back unless you fuck up. You get pissed off at somebody and knock his teeth out. Now you're in for no matter how much he deserved it. There's a really hot girl. She acts really interested in you. You're like, wow, I think I'm in love. And then she's bipolar, stabby bunny in boiling pots of water type. You get hoodwinked on a bad financial deal, investing in the wrong type of house. All right. Just don't fuck up, and your life is going to be much more enjoyable. It's not going to be celebrations and flowers. I can't promise you, because I know you're looking for a future. You like a better future. Well, it's not parades and big-breasted redheads offering free blowjobs and trumpets singing your praises and all video games and nightclubs. And it isn't. And I'll tell you, after you and go through all that, I mean, like, go chase the girls and go on your adventures. And once you get old enough, you know what you want: peace, calm, serenity, and stability. Because you'll experience all there is to life. Try sushi, get ice cream, get laid, go ride motorcycles, go on roller coaster rides. We got Cynic in Chief. He just rides around the country. Get a great career, go travel. But in the end, after you've sampled everything life has to offer, in the end, the pinnacle, the biggest trophy you can get with winning at life: peace, calm, serenity, and security. And as long as you don't have kids, or at least if you do have kids, it's with a good woman, and you're married, or if you're going to raise a family, I don't even know if I would even get married, but you don't spend more than you make, and you just squirrel away. You stay in good shape. It doesn't get any better than that. That's it. So it was horrifically bad what you went through. And I'd like to say it's going to be horrifically great. And there's these amazing things. You'll see it on television. They sell it on television, like all the rap videos and the Nicki Minaj and the movies and oh my God. And then bottle service and advertisements and behind the scenes and all these documentaries they do on TV about sports dudes. And it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Or you want to go to Hollywood and make or whatever weird, stupid dreams lazy people have. That doesn't exist. It does not exist. The best thing you can get after going in adventuring, go adventure, go do it. Security, stability, serenity, calm, and peace. I'll still have my hobbies and whatnot. Of course, you still do that, but that's the best life is going to have to offer. So don't, as long as your expectations are in line with that, I don't think you won't be let down. But it will get better as long as you don't fuck up. Never getting married seems too many. Do you think these jobs would be beneficial for me and maybe help me cope with learning society itself with the knowledge of my background? I know you hate long, stupid stories, but I've been watching YouTube videos, but I hope this one's a little bit different for you. No, this is a perfectly fine request because you use paragraphs. You painted a good background. You provided the story with a little bit of color. Wasn't too much. You didn't blather on. You provided some examples. This got to the point. But yes, these jobs, do you think doing these jobs would be beneficial for me? Stop here. Yes. Get your ass in the military. Could be the Marines, Air Force, whatever you want. Get in there. Because I've said many times before, it secures so many things. Food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, education, even a retirement fund. All right. And there is no better offer to people younger than 35, basically. Watch my other video. Don't try until you're 35. And don't misread that video like, oh, lie on my ass. I'm 35. Like, no, get your ass into the military. So this will secure everything that your family and society and your teachers were not able to secure. You're gonna beat your ass is what they're gonna do, though, too. I mean, you're not, if you're in the Marines, you're gonna do a lot of physically demanding stuff, but they will feed you, clothe you, give you a place to sleep, lodge you, educate you if you want it, and you get the GI Bill afterwards. So yes, and then this nightmare ends. You trade in a really bad, horrific nightmare for a significantly less horrific nightmare, but going through basic and working from it, it's still going to be a nightmare, but it's going to be a good one. And then you're going to have stability. Then, however long you want to stay in the Marines, that's fine. I would recommend while you're in the Marines, you kind of assess a couple things. One, do you think maybe you want to be an officer? Because the Marines or the military in general can be a lifelong career. Some people are career soldiers, or in your case, Marine. So keep an eye. And if that's the case, maybe start looking at officer candidate school or officer training school, becoming an officer. But also along that is, okay, they're going to give you an MOS. That's your job. Well, what would you like your MOS to be? What would you like to do? And then as you're going through the Marines, there should be some educational opportunities, heavily discounted. So you could go get college credits while you're in the Marines. And this would be a great time to try different classes, different things. By the way, do not be a dumbass. Make sure you major in the right thing. If you don't know what the right thing is, go get this book. Aaron, are you just constantly selling books? Yes. So that I might have peace, calm, serenity, and security. Actually, where are we now? We got the septic tank, the floorings, and tiles. We're at tiling now. I want tiles for my bathroom, so when I shower, the sheetrock doesn't melt off. I have such expensive tastes. What is this? So it is going to be beneficial. Oh, then take some classes in different fields that pay to see if you like it. And then over 3-4 years period of time, however long your commitment is to the Marines, you should at least have your prereqs out of the way. And if you got out, you only want to do one commitment, then they're like, oh, okay, you get your GI Bill. Oh, you got your prereqs out of the way. Now you can finish off with a bachelor's and maybe a master's degree and some housing allowance and some things there. All right. So that's when you're in the military. You got to assess, do you want to stay in the military? If so, maybe look at becoming an officer. And then while you're in the military, learn and figure out what you want to do should you leave the military. And maybe help me cope with learning society itself with the knowledge of my background. The Marine, you went from, so there's the real world, right? And you've experienced it going to school. Now, school is not the real world because everyone's being dumped out into the real world, but you have experienced the real world. And your observations about girls being stuck on their phone and you finding that completely not worthwhile or interesting is a very astute and real observation. So going from the hell you were, you did have a little bit of experience in the real world, but that real world environment named school is going to end. And if you're joining the military, you're also not entering the quote real world. You're going to a different world. Will it help you learn about society? I think you already have learned about society, how debauched it is, how depraved it is, how adults don't know jack fuck all shit, how your colleges and your colleagues, your peers in school, who are now just off to college doing the same ass bullshit. They don't know anything. You can't trust the government. The government is not going to save you. You're going to save you. No one is coming to help. Oh, hey, did you get an extra muffin? Well, that cured your problem. Let's give Obama some more money. He gave you a whole muffin a day, huh? Wow, that solved poverty. That sure took care of your situation. And so I think the military is going to better arm you and prepare you so you're not worried about the lower levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs of food, clothing, and shelter, that when you get out into the real world, you could survive in it, and then you can worry about figuring out society then. But I'll tell you, man, you could just assume society is about debauched shit. Most people suck. They're not worth being friends with. Most girls are not worth dating. Most guys aren't worth dating. And you should always be looking out for number one. That'd be yourself. Right? That doesn't mean you treat people like shit, but you take care of yourself and lower your expectations. And then when you do the military, you'll base you out somewhere in the Pacific, so in case Japan attacks again. Look out! Oh my gosh, here they come. You'll come back. That's not American society. You'll come back and you'll get back. You'll be like, this sucks. These people are assholes. I mean, hey, we might have riots happening here pretty soon. All right. They boarded up the Walmart. You're like, wow. So that people are going to riot for a reason. And girls are like this and no guys work out and no one's, no one, I guess the number one complaint I got about current Western society, and I'll just save you the philosophical time to get there. No one gives a damn about their life. Like, they are perfectly happy and satiated shooting up heroin in the form of social media and the internet and television and movies and pop culture. There's no deep philosophers. There's no one pursuing love. And that's the number one gripe I have about society, is they're pissing away their lives. Like, I can go to people who, even friends of mine, do you want to go do really exciting activity X? Climb a mountain, motorcycle ride, go on a boat where there's whiskey tasting and cigars. You'd almost think like, hey, do you want to drop cinder blocks on your foot? Because no one takes advantage. Why? Because they're lazy and they're tired. And when you start to realize that all people want to do is feel good all the time with a metaphorical heroin needle in the arm, and they're going to let their life pass away, then I think you've most accurately learned about society. If you learned the most important thing about society, and that there are a very few percentage of the population that, one, have their shit together, and two, are like, holy shit, I'm gonna die. Let's make this count, motherfuckers. We got one trip on this roller coaster. All right, well, let's go. And most people are perfectly all right just watching TV, getting fat, living vicariously through fictional people, either through books or the internet or television. And no one's like the British military in like the 1800s. We're going here, sir. We're going there, sir. The South Pole can't be done. Well, I show you, my good man. You not see the walrusy mustache? And goofy outfits that they had. You can't. The Brits were pretty kicking ass in the 1800s. No one's got adventure anymore. And so you don't have time right now to worry or concern yourself about society. You got to square yourself away. Get in the military, get your finances, get your stability, Figure out what you want to do before you leave the military. Educate yourself while you're in the military. If you find out what you want to do, get out, get the qualifications, certifications, education, whatever it is for you to do what you want to do, and then go live life. And above all else, swear to God, if you went through all this hell, do not fuck up. Do not get a girl pregnant. Swear to God, do not get a girl pregnant, because it would all be wasted. And then all this work was pointless. Then you're no longer in control of you. You got to worry about your kid, as you should if it's your kid. But you cease to exist then. All right. So that, don't worry about integrating into society. That'll come later. But I think because you were deprived of the internet for so long, you've actually got, it's almost like you're watching a zoo. And you're the only real adult human being, sentient entity, like watching the chaos going on. And everyone with your background. There, dude had no problem with that. Well, thank you very much for an interesting request. Very good. Very good. All right. Super chat time. Fred Freeman saw $2. Robert Reich failed physical for Nam. Too short at 4'11". Well, hey, he at least went there, right? He didn't like try and do a Bill Clinton, go to Canada or whatever. I saw one more. Oh, Twin Force Fusion, 10 Canadian dollars. I was homeless at age 19. I was in great shape. I joined the army, and weird enough, it saved my life. Even if I lost $270,000 in a divorce at age 34, at 47, I'm worth over $600K. See, now let me point out to the client. Look, he went through it all, right? Went through it all. What did Twin Force do? He fucked up. He married the wrong girl, and it cost him over $250,000. Oh, Canadian, that's like $50 US. But it cost him a lot of money, because $50 in Canada goes a long way. You can buy like some moose and a piece of a glacier. A lot of fancy moose glacier estates out there in Canada. But this is, and he's still recovered. But that's why I'm saying, like, let's the man who didn't fuck up. That's the name of my next book, The Man Who Didn't Fuck Up. And it'd be this fictional character who, like, he comes and goes into all these different people. They come into his life and leave, and they all are a metaphor, like Christmas Carol. Ghost of past, present, and future. And then this guy, he majors in dumb shit, and then he's in student loan debt. And then this guy gets married to the crazy woman who was hot, single mother, and all that. And then this guy lied and tried to do a real estate deal and embezzle, and then he got busted by the FBI. And this guy just was the slow, steady pace guy who kept his nose clean. Maybe went to church once in a while. And at the end, he's like 75. And what's he enjoying, boys and girls? What's he enjoying? He's enjoying, he could have had all the greatest adventures in the world, but he just, like Thanos, at the end when he snaps his finger and he goes to his tent, the old man would just be sitting there enjoying his tea, enjoying the peace and calm, serenity, quiet, and security. By the way, don't have to share any of my videos, You don't have to share, subscribe, or anything. Certainly don't tell anybody about Asshole Consultant. Speaking about a guy who took great measures, he got a vasectomy. Atham made sure he is not going to fuck up in one regard ever again. Eirik Solvi for 55 Norwegian kroners. Why do you have the cheapest looking headset and mic? Also get a less messy background. Thank you. Well, Mr. The government pays for everything, not only covers socialists, but we got a shit ton of oil for all 3 people that live in Norway. I'll continue to explain why. These just recently broke. I have a pair that I just bought today. They don't work. I got to piss away another hour of my time going back to Walmart to replace them, to return them. And then I'm going to go to some other place to get a different set. And the reason it's a messy background is because I sold my place. I'm trying to build my place in South Dakota, and being frugal because we don't have an oil trust fund, which all you Norwegians do. Look it up. Well, he knows. Everybody, hey, everybody, you want to go see what the Sovereign Wealth Fund has saved up per Norwegian? Eirik is a millionaire. He is. There's so few people in Norway, but they have that North Sea oil. They put it in a sovereign wealth fund that the government is just sitting on a shit ton of oil money. It's like a cold, not as warm Saudi Arabia. And so since we don't have a shit ton of government money and oil money, we have to kind of pay for things ourselves here. And so we have a 1-bedroom apartment, me and the GF. And we have a lot of stuff. We don't have a lot of stuff, actually. Used to have a house, and I sold it to build my new house. And so all of our stuff is crammed in a 1-bedroom apartment. 2 people in a 1-bedroom apartment. We're being frugal. Does everyone get ice castles? Is it like Frozen? Because my nieces watch Frozen. Is everybody rich and very beautiful and wonderful, and they all run around and they don't have to worry about anything, and they can ride their caribou because of the oil money? All right, enough picking on him. The competent, he was kind to give us 55 Norwegian kroners. The competent man, $2. And fix the rubber band. Nope, that's going to stay there. This is a perfectly fine microphone. It's perfectly fine. Look, how about this? Go to olderbrother.com/donate. And there's 3 links. One is to my PayPal. One is to Subscribestar. One is to my Amazon affiliate program. All right. Go to PayPal and find on the internet, on Amazon, which microphone you want me to get. Okay. Which high-end, fancy, hoity-toity with the oopty-loopty and the fancy schmancy microphone you would like me to get. Or the headsets while you're at it. And then donate that fucking money to my account. In the meantime, this works fine. This is getting replaced. The world still moves on. I know this one. Anders Sanders, what was his name? Norway, a country you can mass shoot 100 people and get a maximum of 10 years. I know. Oh. All right. That's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodle.